Hello everyone, this is Christina again, and I was missing in action last week because I was preparing to put out some information on my forthcoming workshop, David Austin Rose Workshop. Here's some information, a leaflet and some pictures. It's obviously in Cold Porcelain and it's fully booked except for one place, so if you're interested let me know. And these are the Thorns. I thought that post some elements of what I'm going to be doing during that workshop, and in general asked me to post it in, and I expected it to be a really short kind of 1 or 2 minutes long video, but not so. It turned out to be actually quite a bit longer. So first of all, find realistic places for your thorns to sit. And I am not always very precise like that, and sometimes I sit them in the really random places. But yeah, that's something worth paying attention to if you're making a piece for competition or whatever. And both your clay and your gum paste, if that's what you're working in, they need to be really fresh for something like this. This is very important, otherwise it'll just look crumbly and it would be triple as hard to put it in any kind of a decent shape. Now sadly, I don't actually have any clever tricks on how to make this little thorns. It's just really a luck game and trial and error game and experience game. One thing I would say though, do give it a go and practice on a few pieces before doing your final piece. And as with everything else, try to see it, take your time and look at it. Look at your thorn when it's already on the plant from every possible angle and keep checking it like this. Now, tearing off the end of it doesn't really work very well with colored clay. If it was just fresh clay without the paint in it, it may have worked a lot better, but I find as soon as you add any kind of a paint to cold porcelain, it stops being quite as nice. On the hindsight, maybe it would have worked if this cold porcelain here was a little bit less dry, but then it may have gotten out of shape very quickly, so play around with it. Now here I have super glue, and super glue is very important for this little piece of flower accessory, simply because it sets really quickly, so you could pull away a little bit of your thorn to make it more realistic and generally a little bit more shapely as it sits and getting really firmly stuck to the stem itself. Do you see what I mean? Just like that. And another thing to look out for, try not to make these thorns very big. The smaller they are, the neater they, well, not necessarily too small, but it's easy to make them bigger. Just don't make them too big. This one is probably on the bigger side. If you stay to the end, you'll see a smaller version of it. And yes, it does point downwards. One of my viewers actually got in touch with me on Facebook. The idea of it is that they do point down for whatever botanical reasons that they have for it. I've been told it's because insects get more scared of this whole thing. And I'm just thinking, what do other plants do? Or is it just like queen of flowers can afford the thorns and the rest of flowers can't? So I'm not quite sure how that is working out. I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation for it. But yeah, thorns do look down. And generally, I always thought that it was the other way around, and then I googled it, and yeah, I have always been wrong. Okie dokie, so I hope that this hasn't bored you too much and hasn't been too much of the samey video, but here's another of those little thorns, a bit smaller and a bit neater, I think, and I'm just gonna put it on fast speed, not to overbore you too much. And other than that, I will see you with another tutorial next week. I think I might do a stem, or I might do an exciting flower for you. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but thank you for popping in and watching my video again, and thank you for being lovely, and I will see you all again very soon. Have a lovely weekend.